Let's assume she did it. Hypothetically, just for the sake of this video, and I think it's going to have to be a two-parter because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. But I've made all these previous videos where I've said there's no way Karen Read did this. But let's, just for the sake of argument, hypothetically, if she did it, let's trace the evidence and see if it holds water. Now, let me start this by saying I have been remiss in probably honoring John O'Keefe as much as I should. And this is the perfect point to do this because he is a police officer, and we are taught our entire lives that these are people who are revered and well-respected. And when a cop gets killed, it ratchets up the seriousness of the investigation. There is no time to waste. There is no mistakes that can be made. This must be airtight because there is no way we are going to let a cop killer off the hook. In fact, you've all seen the movies where the police all gather in their morning meeting and the sergeant's like, don't fuck this up, right? You canvass you talk to every single neighbor, you get every bit of evidence because we can't have any mistakes. So many times, cops and prosecutors go into court with what they think is a great case and it gets tossed out on some sort of technicality. So you would, from the word jump, do everything perfect because there is no good goddamn way you want this woman to walk if you think she really murdered a Boston cop. So let me start at 12:29 in the morning on the night that John O'Keefe died. Okay, there's an 8-second call at 12:29. There's an 8-second call that goes from Jen McCabe to John O'Keefe, which he answered. I'm assuming this is when they are still driving to the house. They've gotten lost twice. So it's a very short call. He's probably saying, hey, listen, we're right around the corner. We'll be there in a second. Now, keep in mind, as they come down that street, that final street, Ryan Nagel is right behind them. He sees them. He's following them. He basically parks right behind them in the street. As this is happening, Jen sends another text to John that says, pull behind me, meaning telling him go ahead and park in the driveway. They choose to park in the street and Ryan parks right behind them. If the case against Karen is that she hit John during the window of where Ryan Nagel pulled away, because his sister decides to stay at the party, he pulls away. So that leaves Karen and John alone outside. There's a short few-minute window. Let's just say the case is that Karen hit him. Whether it was accidental or on purpose, there's now a hit and run and she's left the scene. Okay. That actually explains all of those calls. There's a 10-minute window between 12:40 and 12:50 where Jen McCabe reached out to John 9 times. There are 6 phone calls and 3 texts between that period of time. She can easily explain that by saying, well, they showed up and then they didn't come in and I was concerned for my friend, so I was calling him trying to figure out where he was. That actually helps her. And I would have thought that she would have handed those calls over to the police. I'm not quite sure why she deleted them. There would be no reason for her to delete them. If Karen actually killed John, there'd be no reason for a single phone call or single text to be deleted from that night. Jen and John McCabe leave at 1:30 and they have Julie Nagel and I believe it's this person named Sarah with them. Then also Caitlin Albert leaves at 1:30 and Brian Higgins leaves at 1:30. And of course, none of them would see him on the lawn because he's way over by the flagpole. And as they come out, they're all parked in the driveway. So they're all going to come this way. Higgins is parked right at the end of the driveway. They're going to come this way, looking at their cars. They're all chit-chatting with each other. It's perfectly innocent. There's no reason they're looking over there for the dead body. And John is probably unconscious, so he's not yelling for help. He's not moaning. He's not. Nobody knows he's there. They're all looking here to go to their cars. The 2:22 a.m. call where Brian Albert called Brian Higgins, when answered, but only lasted a second, they hung up, and then Higgins called him right back, and they talked for 22 seconds. Well, that could be explained away as 2 dudes just checking in on each other. Good to see you, bro. Did you make it home safe? Yeah, I did. Great. Thanks. Good party. See you later. Jen McCabe sends 2 texts at 2:25 in the morning, and that could be the same thing. Hey, good seeing you guys. Did everybody make it home safe? Fantastic. Not sure why all these are deleted. Those probably should have been provided to the police so that they could all say, yeah, see, we were just making sure everybody made it home. All the same reasons Jen was trying so hard to get a hold of John. We just want to make sure everyone was safe. If we were so sure that Karen killed him, there would have been wounds consistent with a vehicular incident, right? Every statement that morning from all the police would have corroborated that. They would have all taken one look at John and said, oh yeah, this dude got hit by a car. All the statements would have said that. There wouldn't have been any mention of a fight or a physical altercation or a domestic dispute. There wouldn't have been any mention of that because we would have known lock, stock, and barrel that he was hit by a car. Brian Albert would never have hesitated to come out on his front lawn. The minute he heard a commotion, he would have come outside and rendered aid. Because again, if Karen Read killed him with her car, he would have been the first one out there to say, I witnessed the damage to his body. I tried like hell to save him and I couldn't. She murdered him. That's exactly what Brian Albert would have done. Karen panicking at the scene and saying, did I hit him? I think I hit him. Did I hit him? Did I hit him? That would have been taken as a very serious confession. So they would have absolutely said, ma'am, you have the right to remain silent. Let's go to the police station and take an official statement. And they also would have taken all the other people there that heard that to the station for official statements. And every single statement that morning that was made by any witness would have been recorded, preferably with video, but minimally audio. Every single thing would have been recorded and captured perfectly. Because they're trying to leave no stone unturned and they're trying to make an airtight case, when the state police came in, they would have strategically interviewed every single person that had been in the house that night to exclude them from the situation. So they would have made sure every statement was recorded. They would have asked everybody to turn over all their cell phone records of the evening. They would have gone in the house and looked through every single window to see if anybody might have seen something. They might have even asked, are you willing to give us a swab? Are you willing to give a hair sample or something to prove that you did not do anything to John O'Keefe? They would have reenacted the scene. They would have had Ryan Nagel pull up and they would have marked off, okay, here's where Ryan's car was. And it all would have been videotaped. Every last bit of this investigation would have been caught on video because they wanted an airtight murder case. They would have reenacted, here's where Ryan was parked. Here's where this car was parked. They would have reenacted the entire thing. They would have brought every single witness back out to the scene and they would have reenacted the entire night on video for proof against her. Okay, there's so much more, but I'm out of time. I got to go to a part 2. Stick with me.